Okay, so this is the rack all broken down, the various pieces. I've got 3 of these, which if you wanted a shorter rack, there would only be 2 instead of 3. These are for the floor, for the main mountains. These are for the sides, and there's 3 of those, but again, if you wanted a shorter one, you could just use 2. This is a 6-foot long dowel. You could use a 4-foot one, or even a 3-foot one if you want one really short, but I go at least 4 because that would be really small. Now this isn't actually a tutorial like I normally do of actually making one, because this is already made and I didn't make a tutorial for it while I was making it, but I will explain the various pieces. So let's just take one. This is one of the floor mounts, which is 2x4 in here, space to put the big piece, which is actually about right under 4 foot, but you can make it taller or shorter if you wanted to. These are approximately 15 inches, and I've got them in a little wedge shape like this. So you can take like a scrap piece of 2x4 to put in here while you're drilling holes and screwing it together so that you keep your space. Make sure that it's not so tight that you can't slide your wood in and out of it. That's Zoe, who keeps meowing. She's 14, so she talks a lot. And I've actually got some holes drilled all the way through each one. I'll get to why that's there in a minute. But so you would drill your holes through and then add your screws to hold each piece together. And so the screw is just going all the way through, all the way through, all the way through, all the way through. Zoe, she's very demanding. Mommy's trying to make a video, Zoe. Okay, so that's the bottom pieces. And then the dowel itself, I have some screw-in inserts. So there's a hole drilled inside, just a short hole, and then you could use a different type of insert, but this is a screw-in insert. I don't know if you can really tell inside, but this is so you can screw in a finial at the end. I did have this shorter, but I decided I needed a longer one, so that's why there's actually a third one, the middle. And then 3 of those. Originally it was just 2, but I needed more space. So you could use a finial, which I used to have some finials, but I used them for a different project after I redid these. And this is actually just one of those furniture feet. So they would go on the bottom of furniture, but there's a little screw for it. So you can actually just screw that in there. And you've got a fancy end, which you could go fancier. I did have, like I said, some finials, but I ended up using it on the top of this. Actually, it's a rack that I made for displaying my jewelry that's made out of a old table leg and a lampshade cover that I redid, and then it's got a little dowel in there, and so it can spin. So bonus. And and a view of my lovely studio that is quite junky right now, and Iggy, who is taking a nap because it's early in the morning. Anyway, shut that closet. Not my usual tutorial, but whatever. And then we have these pieces. And there is, again, a hole drilled through here. Kind of wonky, but these holes are to fit a 5x16 bolt in. And you'll see those in a few minutes. And this is just over an inch, kind of sanded it out some for the dowel to go through. So let me show you how I put this together real quick. Okay, so you take your pieces and you lay them out about how long they're going to be, and you need this part all lined up so that when you put these pieces in, that they'll line up right. So as you can see, I painted these a little fancy, but you could paint them any way that you want to. And I numbered them so they're easier for me. But these holes that I put in there, you want to line up with the holes that you drilled all the way through on each side, and you'll figure that out in just a minute. So they're kind of lined up like that, and then I didn't paint that one, so I know it's the middle. And then this one here. Like that. So they're all lined up, and you're going to use these. I'll explain this in a minute, but they're going to go down in the bottom. Make sure you can see the top part, and you can't. Let me raise that up a little bit so you can see this part. Okay, and then your dowel. This is the only thing you really don't want to cheap out on. This is a 6 foot 1 inch poplar dowel, which it was the strongest one that I could get because you're going to put a lot of weight on it and you don't want it to bend and crack. So go ahead and get the best one you can. Don't get a little cheap one. I'll just go through the holes. I got these because they can just go on real easy like that, but you could make some with just out of cardboard or cardstock or whatever, just perfectly round, and just slide them on before you put your ends on. So that's how the rack looks all put together, and you can push them flat together or leave a little bit poking out so you can hang some stuff on it right there if you wanted to. And once those bolts are down here, it'll actually be way more sturdy. Okay, quick close-up of the rack. This is what I was talking about, like you could leave a little bit out because this is a bottom floor. It kind of, for furniture, it kind of sits a little flatter, where a regular finial would be out more, but you could use whatever you wanted as long as it's screwed onto the end to keep that from sliding all the way out. Right? So they're down in it like that. Put your size tags on there. Now, because this is so long, and what I was talking about, if you wanted one that was shorter, you could just have it 4 foot and just end it right there and just have 2. 1, 2. That's how it originally was. This is a extra piece that I put in. And then, you know, of course, the other end. Ta-da! Like I said, you could just have one that just went and ended. But if you're going to have it 6 foot, you need something like this in the middle to help support the weight. Because I've got, like, I put, I don't know, probably at least over 100 shirts on here. So I've got, like, from small to 3XL. And then I have some other cheap racks that I use for kids' clothes and other stuff. Okay, now these are 2x4 for studs, so they're actually more like 1 and I think just over 3/4 by 3 5/8 or something like that. They're not exactly 2x4 inch, but anyway, so I have, so because if it really was 2x4, it'd be 2, 4, 6. This is a 5.5 inch, 5/16 bolt. So you got the hole going through there. Whoops, forgot something important. No, I didn't. 5/16 go through there. Poo poo. Got the washer and this wing nut. I don't know if I can screw this on and not hold the back. Well, anyway, you would use both hands to kind of hold that one in place and then screw that. Actually, oh, it caught by itself. So once that's in there, that keeps that whole thing from wiggling around in there. And that will make the entire rack more sturdy. So that's pretty much it. You would do it to the other sides, and everything just comes apart real easy so that you can fit it inside of your Jeep or truck or car or whatever, but you don't have this giant 6-foot rack that's like 4 foot tall, taking up a ginormous amount of space because you've already got so much merchandise and all going. And you wouldn't necessarily have to use this for selling. You could use it on, like, say you're a student or something, or you were in the military and you moved around a lot and you wanted a more fashionable rack, or something that was more sturdy, and those little plastic ones for traveling around with. You could make a smaller version of this and it would totally suit your needs. So if you have any questions, feel free to email me or put them in the comments and I will do my best to answer them. Thanks, and keep on crafting.